Today I have four major information how I want to share with you. Four major information that I want to share with you. The first one is the fake news that have been circulating on social media about the statement that was released by the armed forces of Mali, calling on the public to remain vigilant and ensure stability because that there were some disturbances from terrorists by blocking some roads and everything, of which that statement was false. And this was found to be a conspirator with other neighboring countries, I mean in the Sahel, not specifically from the AES, but the neighboring countries, you know them, I will not name them here, plus Western media that were in that agenda to sell that picture. So it was a big conspiracy to try to paint the Malian armed forces as incapable of providing enough security to their citizens. So it was all found to be false, and indeed, let's drop the video.
For Mali and other countries in West Africa, certain international media have raised these topics during the Batraori meeting.
It is with the aim of providing accurate information that the DIRPA, the Directorate of Information and Public Relations of the Armed Forces, is organizing this meeting with members of the media. This meeting is taking place at a time when Mali and other West African countries are facing targeted attacks against the armed forces, economic infrastructure, means of transport, and civilians. To confront this new terrorist strategy, the army has taken appropriate measures.
Currently, Operation Bukoloko is underway across the entire territory and is responding firmly to this new enemy strategy from the terrorists. Our forces intervene quickly in a coordinated and targeted manner to secure the area, ensure the return of the administration, and restore basic social services. This territorial coverage allows us to act with greater precision and efficiency.
Another topic addressed during this press briefing was the checks being carried out by the forces on the main roads of the city of Bamako.
The recent checks carried out in Bamako, in the regional capital, and on the main roads may seem restrictive, but they are essential. They are aimed at preventing infiltrations and ensuring the safety of our fellow citizens. We ask for the public's understanding regarding these temporary inconveniences. For our forces to protect you effectively, they need your cooperation. Shared vigilance and timely information can save human lives.
The director of DIRPA also spoke about the attempted destabilization last July, which involved certain military personnel and foreign accomplices.
The relevant authorities are at work and the investigations are progressing. This plot was aimed at shaking the very foundations of our republic. But the vigilance and loyalty of our forces made it possible to thwart this attempt. Unity within the FAMA is sacred. It is unequivocal.
The last topic discussed is the media war waged by certain foreign media outlets. On this point, the head of DIRPA urges colleagues to turn away from this approach by providing accurate information. For Colonel Major Souleymane Dembélé, what is needed today is a sacred union around the armed forces in order to succeed in the fight against disinformation.
I can add on a very little comments. What I should say is that both the Malian population and the people, I mean the world at large, should not fall under the trap of these people. These people are well equipped and very determined to actually to brainwash people and think that there is a lot of insecurity in Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger. So that is their major aim. They are aiming at weakening the leadership of these countries because what is their goal? Their goal is to return back to the Sahel in the name of providing security. But which security are they providing? The insurgents they didn't fight for 10 years ago. Will they be able to fight them today? If you see the territory that Mali has liberated, you know, Mali is one of the biggest countries in Africa. But Mali today has liberated almost 80% of its land. It's controlled by the government. Of course, the bandits are still there, they are present, but this does not stop the Malian operations to go on. This is how things are going, and it's very quite going great. So they also addressed the public that any checks that is being done roads. The public should not be afraid or should not fear, because the armed forces, they are doing what they can in order to safeguard the public, because they are avoiding infiltration by the enemies. This is how they do. The enemy wants also to attack within Bamako in order to create a big headline for their masters. So that is how the trick is all going. So, leaving along that one, we have a lot of news today.
Leaders of both the right and the left, you are guilty. You cannot cry in front of the cameras about the consequences of the misdeeds you have committed yourselves. It is indeed a curious way of waiving the debts for which you are accountable, the deficits for which you are responsible, the general collapse for which you are guilty, in order to seek the confidence of Parliament. As far as we are concerned, as we have always done, we will take our responsibilities. If there is no dissolution of the National Assembly, we will continue with a constructive spirit, but without weakness, to put forward the ideas that our voters command us to defend. But I say this solemnly. Do not wait for the RN group to follow you in your fiscal and migratory madness, in your petty ideological biases that prevent you from seeing the reality of the country. If there is a dissolution, we will accept the verdict of the ballot box. If the people do us the honor of a clear mandate, that is to say, an absolute majority, we will go to Matignon, the Prime Minister's office, to implement, without waiting for the presidential election, a program of national recovery. Change is no longer waiting.
The government is proposing a plan to the country, a debt reduction plan, so that France can escape in a few years the inexorable tide of debt that overwhelms it. In 4 years, which is a reasonable time frame in the life of a country and its inhabitants.
So we have another one. The French Prime Minister was deposed today, 8th, I think, on 8th of September 2025. The French Prime Minister was deposed through a no confidence vote against him by the Parliament. Yeah. He was trying to explain, blah, 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 what, we didn't. No, the people are tired and are fed up of the lies. What you're claiming to do today, you have not been able to achieve it in the certain years they gave you. This guy, actually, in 2 years, there have been 5 prime ministers in France under the command of one president. And that guy actually is stinging on power, stinging on power by doing everything he can to remain in that position. Yeah. So there was a no confidence vote that deposed this guy called Francois. I don't know his French name, but he's called Francois. And he was deposed, and the people are happy. Yeah. Instead of financing or funding foreign wars, divert that money to benefit the French people. Let me tell you one thing. Africa, the French people are not enemies of Africa. The only enemies of Africa is the French government. The French government is the enemy of Africa because it wants to control and impose its system of exploitation on African states. But the French people are innocent, to be honest with you. There are some who supports their government. Their government's approach on their foreign policy in Africa. But, to be honest with you, the French people are honest. But their governments, oh my God, because they are controlled by foreign corporates, So these are the enemies of everyone, not only in Africa, but also in every part of the world, because these people are good at benefiting on others' tears, If others are poor, these people are benefiting. Let me drop also. I show you how the French were protesting against Macron. They are calling him out The French also want even France to exit NATO. They also wanted to exit the European Union because they are seeing the European Union as a threat.
France's sovereignty was lost at the time of Maastricht in 1992. We gave everything to the European Union. We no longer control anything. We absolutely must overthrow all the governments that will follow if the government collapses on September 8th, so that Macron is forced to resign. He, Macron, already doesn't like the people. He doesn't like the French people. That's already the first betrayal.
So another one, we are going to see the patriotic immersion that took place in Burkina Faso.
Mesdames et messieurs,
Dear guests, ladies and gentlemen, hello. I stand before you with immense joy and a deep feeling of gratitude to address you this word of honor of all the campers present here on the occasion of the ceremony of our holiday camp in Somabo 2025. During these few days of camp, we have lived an unforgettable experience, an experience of discovery, of learning, of camaraderie, but above all, of love for our country. For this, I would like to sincerely say thank you to our uncle, Captain Ibrahim Traoré, President of Burkina Faso, Head of State, for having offered us useful holidays. Uncle Ibrahim Traoré, may God bless you and give you a long life. Each activity, from the citizenship workshops to the memorial hikes, discussions on Republican values at the time of singing and fraternity, has allowed us to better understand what it means to be a good citizen. We have learned that patriotism is not limited to words or a flag. It is seen every day in our actions, in our behavior, in our respect for others, and in our commitment to the common good. We have also discovered or rediscovered the history of our country, its struggles, its heroes, its hopes. This has deeply inspired us. Today, we leave with a higher consciousness, a renewed pride, and a clear responsibility to make the values of our nation shine wherever we are. Allow me also to express, in the honor of all the campers, our sincere gratitude. To our staff, thank you for your patience, your kindness, and your pedagogy. To our fellow campers, thank you for the moments shared, the enriching debates, and the team spirit. By leaving this camp, we know that this is not the end, but the beginning of a commitment. A commitment to be young, responsible, respectful, and proud citizens of their country.
Vive l'initiative présidentielle Faso-Mebo, vive le capitaine Ibrahim Traoré, et vive le patriotisme actif et éclairé. La patrie ou la mort, nous vaincrons. Je vous remercie.
This is huge and a very nice development. For a country to be decent and patriotic, you have to have the young generation well trimmed down from the roots. Like today we see Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso, the children of Burkina Faso today, they are more united than even divided, you know. Yeah, because the politicians are still there. They are hanging around, you know. Politicians will never escape from any country. Every country has its own hypocrites, such kind of people, you know. So, the Burkinabe children today, oh my God, it's very inspiring. I feel like every country in Africa should implement that law, that people should learn their values, their core values, their roots, and learn to defend their country instead of exploiting it and dividing it on the basis of political parties, you know. There is nothing that has destroyed Africa like democracy. Democracy is a very established scam from those who even don't practice it. Let's take a case in America. There is no democracy in US. A democratic country naming the Department of Defense to Department of War. Is that democracy? I don't think so. You're poking everywhere. You're trying to fight this one, fight the other one, you know. Is that democracy? I don't see any democracy there. Yeah. So they are trying to support democracy in our weak, poor countries by giving these politicians a lot of money so that they can fuel chaos and divisions within the country. So if the current president or the serving president tries to do something, of course there will be opposition. The opposition will come. Well, hey, what are you doing? What is this? You know. So the law or something that will be good will not pass because of this kind of scammed democracy. That's what I can say. These are I can even call them people who don't like their countries. Politicians don't like their countries for real. They always come for their own benefits and to benefit those who sent them. They are dividing people. They are trying to create chaos everywhere. They are creating mess. In any country whereby you see democracy, you will see that country in a turmoil. So I saw a video today. The people of Burkina Faso were very angry. There is a certain guy who came. He was like a politician, you know. He tried to say that, can we turn to democracy because we see Captain Ibrahim Traore, he doesn't want to return the power to the people, you know. Such kind of words, you know. The people were angry at him. They all attacked him. They were so violent at him because these are the same people who want to divide the country and even pull these bandits in order to take over the whole capital even. Yeah, these are the same kind of people to weaken every institution of governance and exploit them for their own benefits and interests. So in Africa, when you talk about democracy, actually African youth are very tired of that word. They don't even want to hear it because every politician wants to benefit his own party, his family, to go to Paris, to go to London, they go to Washington, they go to everywhere in the world, Dubai. They invest their money in those countries. They even don't invest their money in Africa, in their own countries. They just get secure places and they invest their money there. So that is democracy today in Africa. That's why the people are very tired of that nonsense. It doesn't drive any country. We see all progressive countries like China. We see Russia. We see even North Korea. Even though the media is blackmailing it, these countries are doing great without democracy. Yeah? Thank you for being with us.